Hey guys, welcome to the boss ranking. In this episode, I'm extremely excited to say we are talking about Batman Arkham Asylum. Now, I've always loved Batman Arkham Asylum. I think it holds up incredibly well. I think the gameplay is fantastic, the story is amazing, and the boss encounters are some of the best in the video game industry. Okay, so on the boss fighter, we don't waste your time, so let's get started straight off with the ranking. These are all the Batman Arkham Asylum bosses ranked from worst to best. Titan Joker. You know, even as a child, I knew this fight was ass, because there's nothing redeemable about it. Tell me, what's interesting about a boss that ignores you for 90% of the fight, has no variation or any challenge to increase the difficulty during the battle, and sends waves of uninspired goons to substitute his fat ass? Yeah, fuck this guy, and fuck these shitty tacked-on final bosses that miss the mark and leave a sour taste on a fantastic experience like Batman Arkham Asylum. Okay, I just want to warn you guys that this is my most embarrassing footage in any of these games, and I can promise you that for a fact. This was my experience with the Imperfect Titan. He drops out of a cage, he gives me an intimidating stare, he then kicks my ass for around 45 seconds, and then kinda gets bored and just dies on the spot. Yeah, there's not really a whole lot to this fight. It's kind of lame, it's kind of boring, it's a bit uninspired, and I think they could have introduced this enemy type in a far more interesting way. So, what's worse than one Titan? Two Titans! Yay! Honestly, this fight is a lot better than the previous one. There's a really awesome intro cutscene with them turning into the Titans, and it's really fucking entertaining and kind of grotesque in a really fun way. I suppose I could give the boss credit by saying this at least feels like a boss fight, because you do have to improvise and you do have to figure out how to defeat both Titans at the same time and figure out how to use one of them to turn against the other. And dude, trust me, riding a Titan is really awesome, and it's really fun because actually mounting a Titan and using it to ram into the other one has its own sense of novelty and its own entertainment factor. Honestly, this fight is just kind of okay, it's kind of mid. There's not really a whole lot going on here in terms of boss mechanics, but what is here is actually quite entertaining, and it gets the job done for what this fight is. In my opinion, I think this is probably the most atmospheric encounter in the entire series. There's just something so creepy about this level, how you can hear CROC groaning in the water below you, how you can hear the dripping slime from the pipes in the sewer, and how you just get this overall horror sense to the whole level. It's expertly done. I can't lie, I kind of died a lot in this level, at least 6 times, maybe 7 or 8, I'm honestly not too sure, but I honestly loved this battle. This encounter, whatever you want to call it, it was well done, it was creepy, it was fun, and there's actually a lot of unique things you have to think about during this level. You can use the line launcher, but the risk with using the line launcher is CROC will sometimes pop out whenever the fuck he wants and he'll kill you. So there's a lot of things you have to think about in this level, but I ultimately really enjoyed it, and it's probably one of my most memorable, if not most memorable moment in the entire game. What I've always liked about this fight is just the raw atmosphere accompanying it. The fight begins in actually quite a terrifying way with us discovering Bane, and he's all strung up with these tubes going all over his body, sucking the venom out of his bones. But very soon after that, Bane kind of turns into a skinny anorexic guy into a Mr. Olympia world champion in like a couple of seconds. Which then transitions us into the fight, and the fight itself is kind of It's not perfect, but it is marginally better than most of the Titan fights in the game, because just the novelty of fighting Bane is so fucking awesome. Even though you defeat him in the exact same way as every other Titan fight in the game, all you do is throw batarangs at him, then he turns into a dumbass and runs into the wall, and then you jump up on his back and rip the venom tubes out of him. So the fight itself is a little too simple if you ask me. I think they definitely could have done a few more things to make this stand out from the other Titan fights in the game. But what gives this the step up over the others is the ending. Seeing Bane getting plowed by the Batmobile is so fucking entertaining. I love it every time. In fact, I'm gonna play it for you guys because it's that good.
No, Bane. This time I break you.
Okay, so first thing, I struggled a lot on this fight. I think I died around 8 times, and I know for a fact, I remember the exact number. When I first played this game 10 years ago, I died 16 times on Poison Ivy, because she's just so fucking difficult, and I'll explain why. The first phase is relatively easy because all you have to do is dodge a couple of her ores, dodge a couple of her vines, and you throw a few batarangs at her when she decides to come out of her shell. But what really makes this fight difficult is when the guards get involved. When the guards get involved, you have to dodge the orbs while dodging the vines, while also dodging the guards and killing them so they don't fuck you up later. It can get quite overwhelming, it can get quite difficult, and I suppose what makes this fight really difficult is just the complexity of everything going on at once. It's like the most simple and complex battle I've ever fought, but I don't quite know what to call it. But no, this fight was very entertaining and I really enjoyed it for what it was. It's probably one of the better fights in the series. If anything could hold this boss back, I'd say it's probably the overall simplicity of the bosses in Arkham Asylum, but thankfully the boss next doesn't suffer from any of these issues and might just be one of the best fights in the entire series. Honestly, what isn't there to love about the Scarecrow sections in this game? Each and every one of these sections are so creepy and so weird in their own unique ways. In these levels, you might see Batman strung to a table, Batman eating a rat, you'll see Batman walking down Crime Alley grieving over his parents, you'll unbutton body bags with Bruce Wayne's parents talking shit to him. There's so much wacky and creative stuff in these levels, and it's honestly what gives this game its identity. But I just feel like the overall execution in this level and the challenging nature of the encounters, because I died at least 8 times during this entire section. I got fucked up a lot by Scarecrow. I saw the animation of him slamming his hand down. Maybe that takes a total of 10 minutes off my life. If I could have any complaints about this level, I'd say it's just a wee bit clunky on PC. And what really annoys me is, I don't know, maybe it was the port I was playing, but I couldn't actually change the controls. Like, I couldn't keybind any of my keys on my PC. And because of the 2D nature of the battle, it can be kind of clunky moving Batman around, which will lead to some bullshit deaths where you'll accidentally walk into the light. But besides that, this is by far the best battle Batman Arkham Asylum has to offer, and it might just make it in the top 5 in my official ranking. We'll have to see. But anyway guys, that's my ranking. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the typical YouTuber-y stuff I say at the end of all these videos. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We talk about bosses every week. So far we're covering the Batman Arkham series. Next week we're tackling City, and I'm very excited to get into that game. If you guys want to leave your own rankings in the comment section, feel free. I 100% recommend you do that. And hell, let's get a community started. Let's get talking about some of the bosses in this game, because this game is fantastic and I want to spread some love. Anyway guys, stay humble and keep conquering. I'll see you in the next video. Take care guys.